What is up everyone, Jeff here, no cutscenes, back with another Fallout 4 guide video, and this time we are doing survivor mode guard posts. Pretty cool, yeah. Now, you can see here I got two different ones. I got one built primarily out of wood, the other one's built out of concrete. Has this little slot that you can actually see through here, and your settlers can actually go up there, of course, because there's a guard post, defense post, whatever you want to call it, placed behind the wood railing. So it works out pretty well. I'll show you how to build both of them. They're pretty quick, maybe 5 minutes for the concrete one, about 10 minutes for this one, just because there's kind of, two different levels that you're going to need to build on. So it takes a little bit more time. It's just really tedious. It's not that difficult. But yeah, we'll just go ahead and we'll build them after this. So again, you got a nice little place to look out. You can crouch down so nobody can shoot you. And with survival mode coming out this Friday on consoles and already out on PC, you're going to kind of want a place for your settlers that's just, their home. It's just going to be their place. Now, I've built this one here. It doesn't have a guard post, but it does have two turrets that I put up on the concrete pylon, concrete wall, pillars, whatever the fuck you want to call them. I showed y'all how to do that in an earlier video. It's my part 4 of the Wasteland Workshop Tips and Tricks series. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and learn how to do that, it's super easy. And yeah, we have another one here where there's kind of like a little slot to view. And of course, this one could be like your place if you want it, your home, your little lookout. It's got place for all of this stuff that you're going to need for survival mode that you're going to have to either decide whether or not to take with you, to keep back, or just in general for building. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and show you that, yes, of course, your settlers can actually use that guard post that I had in the first one. We have Marcy Long, that bitch right here. So yeah, they can actually go out and see, and I'll show you the techniques that I end up using for both of these. They're really easy. There's nothing really too complicated. It's just, like I said, a little bit tedious. So let's go ahead and start it out. We'll build the concrete one first because that will take the least amount of time. And basically what you want to do, just get one of the concrete foundations, the ones that, that look like this. And you want to place it with about 2/3 of it kind of sticking out, maybe even 3/4 of it sticking out of the ground. Again, this is completely up to you how much you want, but what we're going to do is we're going to use this wall here to actually kind of test to see how much it actually sticks out. So like what I mean by that is, you'll see here in a second, we're actually going to use these curved walls, and that's going to be our little lookout post. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit sticking out. Now, since we're going to use this concrete steps, go ahead and build one so you can actually get up here. And what you want to do is you just want to stand on top of the curved floor and just drop down. Now this will drop it down completely, perfectly flush with the rest of it. And basically you just want to kind of test to see that this is the right height that you want it. If you want it to be a little bit more up or down, of course you'll have to adjust the concrete foundation. But really, go ahead and do that, and then just follow me. Do as I do here. Take one of the curved wall pieces there, place it just again to test it. Take one of the curved floors, put it up like how I did, where you have to remove the wall piece just a little bit so you can actually place it there. But don't worry, because it will be fine. It will actually snap. Bam, there you go. You're good. You have the basis of the little build. Now, I'm okay with this one. If you want it to be a little bit higher up, you can. I like it just because you're able to actually see down a little bit. You're not, just like looking straight at it. So yeah, we're good. Okay. Now for this next part, because we're going to snap one of the 1x1 concrete floors to the side here, go ahead and pull that one out. Basically, just as so. Now it's super easy. Again, place one of the small floors right there, right there. And with concrete, it's so easy to build. Now, it can be a little finicky and can be a little tricky, but what we're going to do is we're essentially going to kind of use this little glitch. It's not even a glitch, it's just another building technique where you can actually have that wire wall on top of this windowed wall that has like the 3 bars. Now, you're going to find me kind of trying it a little bit in different places. You just kind of have to find, like, the smooth spot or whatever the fuck you want to call it, where it actually fits. Now, you might have to take away the wall here like I did. Sometimes you can get it just based on where you stand or how you use the selector tool, or which wall you place first. I've always found that it's kind of easier to place the wall that has the 3 bars, but again, you'll just have to figure it out. You'll just have to kind of mess around with it. And as you can see, it snaps in there. You're just going to have to find the right angle. So, bam, there we go. We're good. But unfortunately, that wall doesn't really work with us. So you're going to, again, see me kind of remove it and put it back. But I kind of wanted to do the same thing here. But for some reason, it just doesn't want to snap with the rest of the walls, so I actually end up taking it away. But don't worry, you can always place it back as long as you have the basis of the rest of your build ready. So again, you can do it pretty much there. I just wanted to do this just to give it like the effect that nobody can shoot in there, even though they can. And of course, underneath here, we're not going to be able to place it because the two walls intersect each other, and for some reason, they just won't let us snap. So we're going to have to take one of them away, at least for now. We'll go ahead and we'll place it back later, but yeah, like you see here, it just won't snap. So take one away, place that down, then it'll snap. And we're going to use this one just as a placeholder. This isn't going to be the final spot of this half wall here. It's only going to be just so we can actually use it as a base here so we can move it up. And yeah, there essentially is the walled in build. We're going to of course put some roofs up, but what I'll show you here is a little trick that I use. And because I don't like having the floor pieces like up above it where there's like a tiny bit of a gap, like I can tell, and my OCD just goes fucking crazy. But I'll show you a little trick. Yeah, see, again, it doesn't snap if there's like two walls intersecting each other like I have there. But we'll go ahead and remove the stairs because we know that we're going to be able to place it back there anyway. And because we removed the other wall that was there, this one will snap. And the good thing is, these curved walls, or the curved floors, will snap to the curved walls completely flush. Now, they won't have any gap or anything, so you can actually use the floors sort of as like your roof. Now, I just wanted to do this so that we can actually have like a little overhang here that's what is it? Parallel, perpendicular, or no, yeah, parallel, not perpendicular, that's the opposite of the actual little outcrop that we have. So yeah, now, like I said, we're just going to be using this one here as kind of like a placeholder. We're going to move it back so we can actually put one of the small floors there. I wanted to make this all out of concrete so that it all looks uniform. No wood, nothing like that. And we'll even use one of the roof pieces, but again, because that wall over there is such a bitch because it has two of them intersecting, we're going to actually have to place one of these walls here in order to put the roof on itself. So again, it's an easy fix. And then if we want, we can go ahead and we can put one of the 3-barred open, I guess, window walls, whatever they're called, just down right where that other grated bar is, or grated window is. Sorry, I lost my words there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and put up these little concrete pylons, just like I had in the actual little intro video there, just because, again, that's just where they're going to be placed. Now, please go ahead and watch my other video that I have, the Wasteland Workshop Tips and Tricks Part 4, where I show you kind of how to do this. It's super easy. It takes literally 30 seconds, but basically what you have to do, you place a wall next to it, a roof piece up top, use the rug glitch with one of the turrets, and then you just remove everything else. So it's super easy. I didn't want to do it here just because it would take, a couple more minutes, and I wanted to have this video pretty precise. But yeah, there you go. That's it. That is your concrete guard post. Now, we're going to go ahead and build the wood one. And the wood one takes a little bit more time. And if I actually showed you the full process, it would be like another 5 minutes, but it would just be me doing random shit, and I'll show you what random shit I mean. But what we're going to want to do is start with the shack foundation. Now, this is going to be the basis for everything. So what we're going to do, because we know that we're going to use one of the concrete door pieces, the door frames, doorway here, just go ahead and place that. Now, I wanted to make it kind of like a mix between concrete, steel, and wood. So I used the actual concrete floor. Well, they're steel floor essentially, but they're in the concrete tab. So now, in order to get some support, some posts under here, so it doesn't look like it's just floating and not realistic, go ahead, do exactly as I do here. Place one of the concrete walls off to the side of it. Now, you're gonna have to kind of find like the best angle to place these little pylons, the smaller concrete walls. They just need to be called pylons. That's what the fuck they are. But you're probably going to have to remove these stairs just for a second, just so you can get the right angle, and you'll see it snap back and forth. Again, it's just depending on where you are. So now you actually have some support underneath. Go ahead, place your railings. I ended up making a little bit of mix of steel and the wood there just to give it like a lore-friendly feel. Because what I'm doing, I'm focusing now on like survival mode builds, at least for this series. I'm going to go back to the Wasteland Workshop Tips and Tricks, and even my Castle Let's build, if I can ever get my game to load again. But whatever, I digress. Now, for this next part, because I had it actually kind of in 2 levels, and it's not like a full level where we're actually using an entire staircase, we're just using those little mini stairs, and I showed you where it had like that little slot where you can actually view out. That's what we're going to do here. Now, place one of the shack stairwells just off the side here, of your original shack foundation. And again, I showed you how to do this in one of my other guides where you kind of just, you know, stand up top there. And even what we did for the concrete guard post where we stood up top and then just dropped down. But again, it's a very easy technique. It is just tedious, and I'm sure y'all don't want to watch me do this for 5 to 10 minutes straight. So follow what I do. And rule of thumb here is those stairs, both the wood ones and the concrete ones, not the the staircase, but the actual just little mini stairs, they're 3 shack floors high, or small floors high. Yeah, either way, they're 3 high. So basically, I just went up and showed you how to do 3 of them. Bam. Once you got this one, again, just use this technique. It's really easy. You want to place one of the shack floors off to the side, one in front of it, and then another one off to the side, and just keep moving them up until you get 3. Now, once you get 3, this is where we're going to basically do this technique again. Now, I didn't even need to move these up here. I'm just showing you kind of what you need to do for each side. But again, remove that shack stairwell once you're done with it. Once you have 3 stacked high, remove the other ones, and place one of the shack foundations. Now, I like to use the ones that look like their own pylons, their own supports, because the concrete just looks a little ridiculous, like as far as the loreness goes. Just because, you know, it's just me right now building. I don't have like a full settlement. Of course I do in this one. It's just, this is for survival mode, again, so bear with me. Now, once you have it, there you go. There's essentially the foundation. Now, we're going to need to put these up. Now, what I do here is I show you kind of, again, the way to do it, where you're going to put one of the shack stairwells off just a little bit from the shack foundation. Now, it'll snap. Put 2 of these down so you have it easier to build, and basically you're just going to do this again. Now, the best thing I found is that you want to do it 11 high, so stack it 11 high. Now, that's when I was saying it is just super boring watching me do this, because I'm just repeating the same step over and over and over again. So yeah, it's super boring. But let me show you just a little trick here. It's a little easy technique. You're going to get to a point where you actually can't walk up to the stairs there anymore. You're not going to be able to. Just grab that shack floor. Don't place it anywhere, and just release it once you're up to the stairs. Now, you're going to keep on repeating the process again until you got 11 high, and you can kind of test, even if you don't remember like how many you got. But again, if you don't, just go and count them. You know, it's pretty easy. But again, take that one, you'll remove it, you can walk through it, even if you have it still just selected at the same spot. It's again, it's really easy to do, it's just very tedious. So once you go to 11 high, that's when you're going to actually be able to place your wooden railings. Now, I'd recommend using the ones that I use, the ones that kind of go well with everything, just because they look the best. They look like they're actually, I don't know, built into the roof, built into the walls, whatever you want to call it. But they just look the best. Now, you can use the other ones if you want, but I just don't recommend it. Now, we're going to make sure here that we have 11, and they kind of go right up to that top there where that shack stairwell is, because the roof that we're going to use has the exact same foundation as far as it being up top. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to place a couple off to the side here, just in case, you know, we ever need it to build any more, just so we have it. Now, I'm just doing this here just so I can show you a really easy, really, well, I guess it's resource inexpensive build that we can do pretty early on. And I mean, you can pretty much take all the materials with you from Sanctuary and just use those. So go ahead, place your railing up there, remove the shack stairwell. We're not going to need it anymore. If you ever want to stack anything more, you can. I mean, again, that's completely up to you. Go ahead and place your walls. I recommend using the smaller walls. You can use the steel ones, but just don't use the bigger ones. They just won't look good. I mean, it'll work, it'll just kind of look funky, because we're going to end up using the other walls, like the shack wall and floor here, or whatever they're called. Well, I guess they just call them wall. They really need to get more specific, because the other ones are called shack wall and floor, but or shack wall and roof. But yeah, we're going to end up using these ones here just to give our gardening, I guess, a little sleeping area. Maybe cook some cams, or, well, I guess food. Maybe they need to survive. Yeah, because I wanted to use the walls here just like that. Now, we're finished. This is pretty much it. We're just putting on the finishing touches right here. So, again, now we have a little spot to look out if we want to make it for ourselves. And here's the tip too. Use these roofs. One of the smaller sloped one, on the far side here. Bam, we're good to go. Now that's why we wanted to test it and make sure that it is 11 high, or else it's going to look kind of weird. Yeah, just do it 11 high. Just trust me on that one. Now use the higher sloped one here for the front part. Pretty easy. Again, you just have to find the right place to put it. You're set. Now, cool. All right, done. All right. So last but not least, we're going to actually go ahead and place that guard post, so our guard has a place to stand. Marcy or June, John, whatever you put them wherever. Now, I'll show you another trick here that I use to kind of place it, because you can just go ahead and place it there, but it'll overhang that little gap we made. So what you want to do is you're going to use one of these smaller floors and just place it, kind of in the middle of the doorway, just so it'll line up just like that. You don't need it to be perfect. We're just using it as kind of like a stepping stone for the actual little guard post. Now, I placed one of the rugs here just because I like having a rug. It's somebody's home, but you got to make it homely. Yeah, that's just what it is. All right, so we're going to do the rug glitch. 4 mats down on top of each other, just so we have a good amount of room to work with. Put the bigger mat, rug, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Well, it's called a rug, so yeah. On top of it, make sure you can move it. Go find your guard post. Use the smaller one. Don't use the bigger one. It'll just look ridiculous. I mean, if you want, you can, but that's why we built that little slot to look through. So you can use this with the rug glitch. Make sure that you can actually move it, and that's why we use that smaller floor, because what we're going to actually do is we're going to place it up here like this. Now, if you go ahead and remove these rugs immediately after you place it, it will drop down and your settlers will not be able to use it. What you're going to have to do is you're going to have to fast travel away a few times. So just fast travel, go Diamond City, do what you need to do, maybe do some quests or do whatever. If you've already completed, just fast travel, do a bunch of different locations. But after that, you'll be able to come back, you'll be able to move those rugs without the guard post falling down. You can assign settlers to it because they can actually get up there and walk. They can get onto it. So yeah, there we go. There are 2 very easy to make guard posts that are very lore friendly. They're very resource inexpensive. They don't use barely anything. I mean, I think it was like maybe 90 wood and about 50 steel, and then about 150 concrete total, if that. But yeah, they're very easy to build. Let me know what y'all think. If you want me to do anything for the next one, I'm going to be doing part 5 of my Wasteland Workshop tips and tricks video soon. So yeah, just let me know what you think. Thanks.